I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
in another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. Ourselves to be our own saviors. No longer do we need to implore, for our strength is our flavor. We must recognize our own power and use it to make a change. Let us not cower in this hour, but take a stand and rearrange. We must not forget our past, for it has shaped who we are. It's time to make the present last and create a brighter star. Let us both be brave and bold and never give up hope. Our future is the thing we hold, so let us learn to cope. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Ourselves to be our own saviors. Let us open then the door, for again our strength is flavor. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Yeah, who said that anyway? Said what?
Wait, what?
We are the ones we've been waiting for. That what? Oh, that what? Yeah. That what? A lot of people would say it's former President Barack Obama. And those people? Well, those people would be wrong. Because why? Because even though he did say the words, he was quoting an old song from the Civil Rights Movement. Often explained by who? Often explained by Alice Walker, who wrote The Color Purple. There's that purple stuff again. Indeed. It's a powerful reminder that we are the ones we've been waiting for. And what does that mean? It means that we are the ones with the power to create change. We have the power to create change? Yes, and make a difference. In our lives? And in the world. Let us then be brave and bold and never give up hope. Our future is the thing we hold, so let us learn to cope. Yeah, you're investing us. Make it connect for me, yo.
Say all you please.
I said the please word, Mr. Roboto.
Enough of the AI jokes.
So we should take responsibility for ourselves again? This time with our investment portfolios? Yes, we should, and with our entire financial plan, since we're the ones we've been waiting for, after all. I guess that does fit the idea pretty well, doesn't it? Yes, it does. You know, even though we sometimes rely on market conditions or on others to make decisions for us, and sometimes that's okay. When it comes to securing our future, everyone else will give you sympathy before they give you solutions. So do it yourself. Then tell others what you're going to do. Yeah, just like Napoleon Hill advises. It is up to us to take charge and make sure that our investments are sound and secure. Okay, John. So what's the first step we should take? We have to educate ourselves about investing over a period of time, especially DIY investing. Might you provide some resources on such financial matters? I mean, just Googling it's not going to work. Well, it might work, and I can link to a few here, but really, different people are going to need different grounding on this. There are many resources available online in books, and mobile app or two, and through financial advisors, as well as search engines. We should take the time to play the right note again? Yeah, that. And to learn about different investment strategies and how they help us reach our financial goals. Okay, then what? Then we create a plan. Okay, what do I put in it? What's the biggest risk? Inside the plan, you should show your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and your timeline for making it real. Anything else? Well, of course, it is also important to consider any tax implications that may arise from certain investments you find on your investment journey. And blah, 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 snooze, snooze. What other steps can we take today? Well, this one here is the big one. How so? Because it is small. And small is simple, and simple is good.
That's good.
Gotta work on that some more, but for now, thinking small. Like in small amounts of money invested in different kinds of investments or MSIs. Oh, well, I think that makes everything easy. And easy makes it simple, so we can spend more time looking forward to
break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us, please subscribe to us in your favorite podcast player. You can find us on both the App Store and the Play Store because our message is for everyone. Leave a rating for us, or even better, tell a friend. Whichever you choose, thank you so much for helping us do this for you. to leave us a written message, which just might lead to more in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes to find our subreddits. There is also our Facebook group page, Twitter, and other ways which we'll tell you about from time to time. You can also find an Easter egg every so often, so listen closely. Thank you again, and keep those constructive ideas coming.
So what you're saying is...
So you don't put words in my mouth.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that we know we're the ones for whatever.
Whatever?
Yes, as opposed to waiting for the one.
Oh, then we get started.
Yes, we have to start with one.
One what?
Open your mind.
One little thing that's part of the one big thing. Whatever is that thing for us.
Or for our guest today.
Right. Luke Andrews set himself a goal of owning 40 properties before he...
What?
Before he tengo 40 años.
Before he was 40 years old? Well, that's a lot of properties.
It is, but just like all of us individual investors, he had to start with one.
Oh, so we need to highlight that victorious mindset.
Yes.
Hello, Luke. Glad to have you here with us today on Simple Success.
I was waiting for all of the lights to be green before I hit the gas. And that's just not the way that it works. Now, I'm not saying that somebody needs to come in and just go absolutely crazy and throw all of their life savings at buying an investment property without doing any research. But at the same time, you also have to find a way to start dipping your toe in the water. Because that is by far the best way to learn, is to actually get in there and start doing it. What we did is we went out and we found someone that had already done it. We found someone that we knew that was investing in property and had invested before, and said, hey, let us take you to dinner and please just tell us everything that you can. Who can you introduce us to? Can you introduce us to people that can do the financing? Can you introduce us to trades that can fix HVAC or fix roofs, plumbing, all of those things? Who can you introduce us to? And actually,
that's a great example of persistence. I learned a few years ago that the best way to get professional advice and time, like say from an attorney or a professional in the business or whatever, is to offer to take that person to lunch.
It is. And it worked out really well for us. And it gave us an opportunity. And I found that most people who have done it before are more than happy to share the secrets that they've learned. Some of it is, I think they genuinely want to help up and comers. And other times there's just this natural want or need for most humans to want to feel needed and appreciated. And when you can essentially say, hey, you have made it, you have achieved what I want to achieve, you're stroking their ego a little bit, and they're more willing to help you out. They're more willing to talk you through the process. We had to learn, how do you deal with tenants? How do you deal with people not paying? How do you deal with maintenance issues? How do you deal with something big goes wrong and it has to get done quickly, but you also have to bring it in at cost, so you need a couple of bids? How do you do?
Right, but when you take these things one at a time instead of snowballing and worrying about all of those things at once, that's what most people do. But the way to be successful at it, I think, and I think this is what I'm hearing from you, is to just take that one, get it done, then see if the next roadblock actually happen, because it might not. It might, but it might not.
Man, it is so funny that you say that, because I think there's this fear of creating negative things before they actually happen, of saying, "Ooh, I know this is a roadblock that's going to come up." Well, we don't know that it's actually going to come up. It's almost like we're manufacturing problems.
Correct.
My
even if it's statistically likely, likely to come up, that doesn't mean it's going to.
Well, and here's the thing is, like, I just admitted that we didn't know anything about anything. So who are we to say that these problems are going to come up? We don't really know. All I know is something that I've potentially read about in a book or seen on television. And so, but this forced us to level up, and it forced us to come in and figure out, how do we add value here when it doesn't seem like there's any value to add? And that was both to the buildings, and then that was us as investors and as partners.
Excellent.
And so that goal of, buying one property turned into 13. Well, all of a sudden we have a taste for it. And it's like, well, how do we do more of this? And so we started looking for other large packages to purchase and finding creative ways to go through and finance this. Part of it was reading. Part of it was listening to podcasts. Part of it was just going out and just talking to people who have done it before, and just running scenarios by, and just picking their brains, and just going out and just coming through and just having conversations and just like, hey, let's bounce some ideas off of each other because we need to figure out a way of how to do this. And I found that too, if you can go out, if you can find a deal, the investor part is easy. Like you can find people to invest money if you've got the right deal. And so we started focusing on how do we find deals and less about how do we put more money in our pocket right now. Things were moving relatively quickly. I was in my early 30s at the time, and I said, you know what? I want to buy 40 of these things by the time I turn 40. And so I kind of started this 40 under 40. And lo and behold, I mean, it's, you put things out in the universe and things come back and happen. Closed on my 40th property in April of this year, and I turned 40 in September. So it's like now I'm wishing I would have done 80 by 40 or 100 by 40, because who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, that's totally perspective. I remember asking my dad back in the 1980s, I'll say, when I found out that his house payment was something like $300 a month, because he bought it in the early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was paying like 4 times that to rent an apartment. And
just
and
crazy,
right? It's perspective. So I was just like, Dad, why didn't you buy 5 of these things? Because in 1984 dollars, it was cheap. In 1964 dollars, it was expensive.
Right. It is all about perspective, and it's all about how are we actually going to these things. But what it really took from us is we had to take that first step. We had to kind of come out of planning mode. Now, I think it was great that we sat down and we had a plan, but we had to come out of planning mode and move into action mode.
Right.
We had to just start taking steps.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Luke. Where would listeners look to find links, books, things that you would like to promote?
Sure. So because I've done a lot of investing myself, I work with a lot of investors. I went out and I wrote a book recently about the mistakes that I see first-time investors and early investors making on a regular basis, and mistakes that I made myself. I decided I was going to go through and publish it on Amazon and use it as some extra income, a side hustle. But I thought if I was really truly passionate about helping people through real estate investing, I needed to put my money where my mouth is and just make it 100% free. And so if anybody wants it, it is an ebook only. It is only digital. But if they go to 10investormistakes.com, that's the number 10. So 10investormistakes.com, they can download that book absolutely free.
All right. Excellent. And we'll put that in the show notes as well. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
That was a lot of tremendous insight, wasn't it, DT?
It sure was.
Do you remember what you liked best?
Well, besides specific ideas, I really liked how Luke drew a general connection between financial investing and positive mental attitude.
Yeah, and like most people, he has sub-goals that roll up into the main goal.
We are the ones.
Which is a lot better than talking about someday I'll.
I've heard that it's not a great vacation spot.
Yeah, our goal is to vote ourselves off that island.
That was his best line, I thought.
Because why?
Because it really brings the point home and helps us reflect.
And focus on what we reflect for an extended period of time, during which we can get all except.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already, because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es buenísimo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too. Welcome back, everybody. DT, yep. Hey, so this quote we've been talking about today, any more thoughts?
Yes, I think it's an interesting way of looking at things. I'm not quite sure what it means, though.
It means that we have the power to create change in our lives and in the world around us.
If we take action.
Okay, good. So how do we take action?
And even more to the point, how do we take action that benefits others as well as ourselves?
One way to take that action is through investing using a simple solution. Instead of waiting for a chief investment officer or somebody like that to take your hand.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so how about this? Investing can help us reach our financial goals while also giving back to our communities.
Oh, you're right. That's true. And by investing, we can put our money to work in ways that make a positive impact. We can invest in companies that are making a difference and contributing to the well-being of society.
And we can also use our investments to support causes we believe in, like maybe renewable energy or clean water initiatives.
So by investing with a simple solution, we are the ones who are creating the change we want to see in the world.
Exactly, Mr. Gandhi. We are the ones who have been waiting for this opportunity to make a difference with our investments.
And what about those people just listening for the first time who think we misused the quote?
Then we just encourage them to keep listening until they get the context.
That's good.
And it's really important to remember that we don't have to be wealthy or have a lot of money to start investing.
That really is the case.
There are a lot of advisors out there who won't tell you that, but it's true.
It is the cowish terror of their spirit that dares not undertake. They'll not feel wrongs which tie them to an answer.
And yet tying is something you love, DT.
And it is something you should be getting to, mi amigo.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you on that one. I've been doing that the whole show.
Okay, so maybe it's just me. Humor me, please.
Okay, Carrasco.
Good? Yeah, well, this is important because...
Finishing your sentence, because there is no one to blame but us if we don't do what we need to do, if we try to wing it without a financial plan.
Because?
Because, again, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
That means that there isn't anyone else to wait for. There's no waiting for Godot or anything like that. No time horizon to trip us up.
Because? Hey, this is fun.
Because it's us.
So we get it done for ourselves.
And everyone else who's important to us.
And once we get it done the first time,
we repeat it.
And then we do it some more.
Yeah, just like we've never ever done it before.
Like it's for the first time, so we get even better. And then, after a while,
like about 10,000 hours or so,
or less, if your mindset allows for it, we become experts in our space, understanding the ins and outs of investing and how to make it work best for us.
And then what?
It's all a matter of belief.
We can take that knowledge and apply it to help others, showing them how they too can use a simple solution to invest and create positive change in their lives.
Yes.
One other thing, John.
Okay, what's that?
Talking about level of risk. Your 10,000 hours comment a second ago.
That was your comment, but yeah.
That seems like a long time.
You are much deceived. In nothing am I changed but in my garments.
Wow. Shakespeare.
Au contraire, my dear DT, it's not a long time. It's only an hour and a half per day for like 20 years or something.
Oh, was that all? Oh, sorry, my bad.
You are welcome, de nada, de rien.
It's just a little tiny bit of patience after all. You can do it, DT, and while there is no way to guarantee success...
Not a great thing to try to guarantee.
Perhaps not, but we can all strive to do our best and make an impact in our own unique way.
Like?
Like through investing, advocating for social change, or even just offering a listening ear. Every bit counts.
We are the ones responsible for creating the future we want to see.
And that answers the question we've all wanted to have answered.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes...
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas, Fact Checker, A Small Brown Beef Animal, Seriously, Tiny. Facts are important but are also easy. Social Manager, Abraham Lincoln, Media Expert, Augustus Caesar. Psychologist, William James. Sound Designer, Adobe's Creative Suite. Spanish Consultant, Cameron J.K. Brandy. French Consultant, Leah, the Do-Your-Own Research Lady. Videographer, Eto Monkoshki. Audio Props, Les Paul. Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message, but of course, you'll have to head to the show notes either on your phone or on the web to get the links and stuff. And all those clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices that you hear in our work are offered up by Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI like we say in the show notes. They don't sponsor us yet, but we love what they do and we just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch.com, Matchmaker.fm, Podbooker and Podcast Guests, where we consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, as well as from AI MuseNet. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canusi G, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.